Hey, Frank Thomas here. How you doing today? Hey, we're going for a walk here. I got a gimbal today, so we'll see how well this works. But today we're going to be talking about saving. And I did talk about this topic very recently, but I got some feedback on it that was more of a, your video was very, very one-sided to the fact of almost like saving above all else is the most important thing in the world. And I don't take that position back, but I do want to give more of a full feeling on that position. In the other video, I was talking very extensively about saving and why it's so important to save. Like, why, And the big answer was, if you don't save today, you rob from your future self. That could be really, really important because you have that whole effect of compounding interest. But one thing I really didn't bring to light was the fact that, hey, you still got to live today. You still got to, dream and enjoy your family and do stuff, make some silly purchases. Absolutely. You don't stop doing that. But it's all about choices. And that's, I think, the point here of this video is making wise choices for today. So tomorrow you can go, dude, you did the right thing, man. So that's where we're at with this one. Let's just think about this whole choices for a minute here. Because at the end of the day, it's not how much you got coming in on your paycheck. It's how much you get to keep. There is a game done by the cash flow, Robert Kiyosaki. He had Cash Flow Quadrant, I believe it was called. I actually picked up a copy of it. And one thing that I learned from that game, which was really, really important, I found, was you could have a conservative budget and save away for retirement and build businesses and other things. And what happens is you can do that as a plumber who's making $2,000 a month, whereas a doctor in the game that makes, let's say, $10,000 a month struggles to do because their expenses are so much higher every month. That always stuck with me, and it made me think, okay, back to the whole idea of choices here. It's all about the choices we make with the money we get into our hands. It's like we earn a paycheck, and a good portion of it we're just custodians of for the next pay period or the next 30 days at most, And we make the decision on whether or not we actually save anything beyond that. And that's really the big focus of that last video, is you don't earn a whole bunch every month. You only earn what you save, what you have for tomorrow. And that's what the big thing is. But what do you spend today? In the book I'm writing, I make a very apt example. And you'll come to realize I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian here in a second. I think it's important to enjoy what we have in front of us, but make wise choices on what you choose to purchase. For example, I really enjoy going and having a steak supper. Like steak, potatoes, asparagus, and all the trimmings. I love it. I have a choice to make. I can either decide to go to the steakhouse and get that $50 steak. And I won't lie to you, it is not easy to find a steakhouse where the steak is only 50 bucks for the plate. That's pretty scary. But I could have and enjoy the same steak if I'm willing to go to the food store and spend 10 bucks on it when it's on sale. My wife and I have a running joke. I look for the Eat Today, so they have a little sticker on it, Eat Today, and it's usually 50% off. The whole context is its expiry date is today or tomorrow, but you gotta eat it up, you gotta have it, you gotta finish it up before the day is out. So what I'll do is I'll buy a pack of that. And the cool thing is, not only do I get the steak I enjoy, my wife enjoys lamb. And she gets the lamb she enjoys. And I can put them both onto the barbecue, or we can put them into the oven, or however we decide to cook them. Cook them exactly the way we like them and enjoy them exactly the way we like to enjoy them. And instead of spending $100, $150 for a meal for my wife and myself, that ain't hard to do. I've only spent, maybe $20, $25. And that's going, and I didn't get one meal out of it. I could have gotten 2 or 3 meals out of it. Because what happens is I have purchased enough meat because you don't just buy one cut, you buy 2 in a pack or 4 in a pack. So what happens is the other day, I spent, I think, $10 to $11 and I bought 4 courses, 4 steaks. So I just didn't get one meal of it. I got to enjoy it 4 times over the course of 2 lunches and 2 suppers, which was fantastic. No complaints here on that, but enough about steak. The point is, choose wisely. Do enjoy today. Get your, in my book, I talk about getting your tribe on board. Wow, get your tribe on board. My wife and I struggled in the beginning because I grew up in a house of lack. My wife grew up in a house of plenty. Both views were not absolutely correct. In my house of lack, there was money, but we never saw it. In my wife's house of plenty, there was no money, and there was this presentation that there was. And what turned out was in my family, we didn't have a lot of extra money, so we didn't have a lot to spend. So we had to make do all the time. And it became almost a religion, so to speak. You know, oh, you can't do that, you can't spend that, you can't do that. Oh, it's too expensive. And we didn't live, we just survived. And it sucked. But my wife, when she was growing up, her folks always tried very hard to give her and her siblings everything they wanted in life. They couldn't give them everything. They tried hard to, and they went into considerable debt to do that. You know, neither view is right. But the right view is looking at what you got coming in every month and deciding, hey, and this requires planning. This requires, you don't have to plan down to the minute, but you got to take some time and plan what's going to happen. Like, we get paid on a monthly basis, so I plan for a monthly basis. I take out $400 or $500 a month, and that is for going out to the movies and for eating out and for extra goodies and for movies and gifts and all that stuff. So that really works well for us. I have found that when I put a cap on it, it's rare that I go beyond that cap. It's very, very rare. And I'll actually take it out as cash, okay? Now, the reason I take it out as cash is you feel the money. When you have to spend a $50 bill or a $100 bill on something, you go, Whereas when you take your plastic out, your debit or your credit card out, you don't think about how much you're spending. Oh, it's $125, big stinking deal. But when you gotta go 1, 2, 3, and you count out 5 or 6 20s, you think, wow, you know, so this is actually, it's not that it's a sizable amount, but it's not a small amount either. So you start to second guess. We choose. We choose. We don't do everything we want to do. I'd love to do everything I want to do, but we make choices. We just decide, hey, I'm gonna go and I choose to do this month. And that's it. The money after that is gone. And my wife and I have come to an understanding that when the money's gone, the money's gone. So what I say to you today is, you know, yes, you got to save. Don't rob from your future self, but take the time to plan today. Take the time to decide between you and those around you who are very close to you and are affected by your spending habits, what you're going to spend your money on and what you're going to save. And also lay out goals. You know, I found that one of the things that really has changed my wife's point of view on saving over the years is I purposely worked really hard and I saved over $100,000 in just over a year. It was a slog, but I got through it. I went to my wife after I'd done this and I said, hey, come here, honey, I want to show you something. And I showed her the bank balance in our account. And she's like, holy smokes, you saved $100,000. I said, yeah. And all of a sudden it felt a lot more real. And I said, you know, here's the cool thing. That account is now returning us about a $600 to $700 dividend return every single month, month after month after month. $600 or $700 I didn't have to break my back for. It's just showing up. It still is growing itself. We're gonna cut it here, but what I'm gonna ask you to do is, if you like this video and you felt that it brought value to you, like it, give it a like. It really, really helps this new channel out. Subscribe and you'll be sure, and if there is a notification bell, click the notification bell, but don't run away just yet, because I want to share with you something very quick. In a future video, which is coming up very soon, I'm going to be talking to you about what I call the magic formula to wealth. And just as a little teaser, it's something any of us can do. And it doesn't require us to kill ourselves or to do anything exotic, and it's completely above board and legal, which is really, really important in my books. So stay tuned to future videos. This is Frank Thomas. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and make sure you stick around. Like I said, like and subscribe. We'll talk to you next time.